Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Udoh, and every week I share content on how to master your personal finance and grow your wealth. So if this is your first time here, thank you very much for stopping by. And today's topic is, bad money decisions that we make. So the first money decision that we make is financing vehicles. So financing a vehicle is one of the worst financial mistakes or money mistakes you can make. All right, there are many reasons why people finance vehicles. For instance, you might be trying to keep up with your neighbor or your friends, or you might just like the new car smell or driving a new car. But right now isn't the best time for you to be financing a vehicle, okay? Because cars are depreciating assets. So why would you spend your hard-earned money on a depreciating asset? Unless your vehicle or your car is making money for you, then there's no point for you to finance a vehicle. The best course of action would be for you to buy a good used car in cash if you can afford that. All right, drive it for a few years while you're saving up what you will have paid, or half of what you will have paid, towards a car payment in a savings account, where eventually maybe after a couple years you'll have enough saved up to upgrade your vehicle, and then you keep doing that until finally you can buy a decent vehicle. All right, so that's one trap that people fall into. A car is not an asset. A car is a liability. The only time it's an asset is when it's putting money in your pocket. So there is good debt and there is bad debt, and financing vehicles is an example of bad debt, because apart from your car payment, there is insurance, and then there's the upkeep on the vehicle, and your car sits out there unless you have a garage, but your car is exposed to all sorts of things, accidents, scrapes. You go to the shopping mall, you park your car, you come back, and there's a ding on your door. So there are so many variables associated with owning a vehicle, okay, which is why financing cars is a very bad money decision. And I have done that in the past. I have financed so many cars. I've financed luxury cars, SUV, compact, subcompact. I mean, if I had saved all that money that I spent on financing vehicles, I would be a multi-millionaire today. All right, because I would have invested my money. If I knew what I know now, I would have invested my money. However, what happened in the past is in the past. Now we're moving forward. So my goal moving forward is to make sure that I never finance another car. All right, the way I'm going to purchase my next vehicle will be through the income or cash flow I get from my investments. So for instance, I'm in the process of looking into buying investment property sometime next year, and I'll bring you along on that journey. So once I close on that property, I'll make sure that the cash flow is there. So let's say I can cash flow $500 a month from my rental property. Then I can now use that $500 to buy for my car payment, okay? Because I know I don't have to physically work for it. Okay, my property or my investment will be paying for my lifestyle. So in that situation, yes, I'm going to buy a good used car and maybe finance it, okay? But that will be up to me at that time. So stay tuned to my channel for more updates on my rental property investments, okay? The second mistakes that people make with their money is buying a house, okay? According to Robert Kiyosaki, having a mortgage or buying a house is not an asset. A house is a liability, all right? Once you understand this, then when you go into buying a house, you know exactly what you're doing. Buying a house is not an asset. A house is not an asset. A house is an asset on your lender or your bank's balance sheet. However, a house is a liability for you. So if you look at a bank's balance sheet, your mortgage is an asset for them. So if your mortgage is an asset to them, how can your mortgage be an asset to you? It doesn't balance. There has to be a balance, okay? So there is debits and credits. I'm sure that's basic. So if there's an asset, there's a corresponding liability. So if your mortgage is an asset to the bank, then your mortgage is a liability to you. So don't get things mixed up, okay? The only time your mortgage or your house will be an asset to you is if it's generating income for you. Currently, there's a trend going on now with Airbnb where people are, renting portions of their home, okay, to generate some income. In that situation, yeah, your house is an asset because it's an asset for you now because it's generating income for you. So that's another way to mitigate the fact that your house is a liability to you. If you can share your house with other people and get some money that helps you with the upkeep or paying part of your mortgage, then yes, your house is an asset. All right. The third thing people do is, let's assume that you have a house and you've lived there for a while and you've built up equity. What most people do is they take out a home equity line of credit or home equity loan to finance consumer debt. This is the worst thing you can do to yourself. Okay, whenever you take out a home equity line of credit, and before you spend it, make sure you spend it on only income producing assets. All right, when I say income producing assets, I'm talking real estate. Okay, that's a sure way to ensure that, you know, when you use your home equity line of credit, you're using it, you're leveraging that to acquire an income producing asset that generates enough cash flow to service that debt. Okay, that would be an example of using your home equity line of credit correctly or wisely. Okay, my background is in banking, and that's my full-time job. I started this YouTube channel last year during the health crisis, because I was like everybody else. I was home, I was bored, and I was looking at what was going on, you know, in terms of finances. And the biggest mistake that most people do is they try to follow the norm, they try to follow the trends. Okay, because your friend or your family member or whatever tells you that a house is an investment, and then you decide to do the same. Okay, sometimes having a mortgage might not be the best situation for you. For instance, I'm going to digress now. So let's say you're currently renting, and then, you know, your friend and family are telling you, well, it's time for you to settle down, it's time for you to get your own house. Yeah, that's all good and dandy, but the fact is, do you have 20% down payment for that house? Do you know how much you qualify for? Okay, so these are some things that you have to keep in mind, because if you don't put down 20% towards the purchase of your home, then you're going to pay what's called private mortgage insurance, or for short, PMI. So PMI is an insurance that your lender or your bank takes, but you are responsible for making those payments. So the PMI protects the lender or your bank in the event that you default on your loan. Then they get their money, and they also get your house. So at the end of the day, you end up losing out on both ends. So you're paying the insurance for them, and then if you default, they foreclose on you and they take back the property. So now you're out with nothing. So you need to think through this before you make decisions to buy homes. Currently, as of the making of this video, all right, the housing market is going crazy. Okay, it is a seller's market. Homes are coming up on the market and they're selling like in days. Okay, this is unprecedented. Now, the reason for this is because interest rates are so low right now, and the government is trying to keep it low to get people to, you know, to borrow money, and to make sure banks can, you know, get the economy going and get things going. So you want to make sure that you don't put yourself in a position where, when everything changes, house values are eventually going to come back down, because right now there isn't enough supply. There's more demand for homes, which is what's pushing up the prices. But eventually it's going to come to a point where people won't be able to afford homes anymore, because, you know, the value of homes and the price for homes will be out of the reach of most people. So what the government's going to do is to try to level things out, and then what's going to happen is home values will start to decline again, just to make it more affordable for people. So now, if you bought a house for $300,000, however, that house under normal circumstances, maybe it's $250,000. So now you're already upside down when home prices fall. Okay, you have a negative situation unless you put down a significant amount of down payment towards your purchase. So, not to ramble any further, those are the three big money mistakes that people make. When you finance cars, okay, you're robbing yourself of your future wealth. Okay, you're spending your future wealth today on a depreciating asset. Just remember that whenever you want to go buy that new car, just remember that you're sacrificing your future, you know, wealth for today to drive a nice car. All right, so you want to do things smart. You want to you want to play the game like the wealthy and the rich do. The rich have their assets and investments finance their lifestyle. So when you see someone driving a Rolls-Royce Phantom or driving a Lamborghini, their business pays for that, not their paycheck. And if you, unless you're the CEO of a company, there's no way you can afford such a car. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. Okay, so you want to play smart, use your money wisely. I have made mistakes in the past with my finances, which led to, bankruptcy, and but I am on the road to recovery. So these are lessons that I have learned along the way, and that's why I started this channel, to share my knowledge and to help people. And if you found this video valuable, please make sure you help me out and hit that like button. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell so YouTube will notify you when I have new videos out. So thank you very much for being here today. Don't forget to leave comments below, and also I have resources down in this description below that you can check out on things that might benefit you. So thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.